Sorry, I'm just checking the mouse there. Right, okay, so it's a little group today, so that's good. I'm going to do some arm circles first of all. So just bringing your shoulders back and round, trying to get a really good range of motion. And then we'll take them forward. And then just take your neck, just look to the side and then drop it down. And then over to the other side. So we'll do a few of those, just neck rolls from side to side. You might hear some noises there, that's totally fine. And then we're going to take some arm circles, so big arm circles back around. And then some forwards as well. And then we'll do one arm forward, one arm back. And then the other way. So you might find one way is easier than the other. And then we're just going to go into a lunge position, so down on the mat and lunge forward, or down on the ground and lunge forward, just moving into the hip. And then if you just look over the bent knee, so twisting around to where the bent knee is, and then round to the front, then we'll take another twist, so twisting around to where the bent knee is. And then round to the front, and then just push that knee out. So we're getting a stretch in that inner thigh. You can even start moving into it a little bit if you want to. And then we're going to take that foot back and then the other foot forward. Just moving forwards and backwards into that front hip flexor. Sorry, the back hip flexor. Few movements forwards and backwards, and then we're going to turn to the bent knee, towards the bent knee, so twisting round, and then to the front, and then twist around again, and then round to the front, and then just push that knee out to the side. And then if you want to, you can move, just make some little movements into that hip flexor. And back into a kneeling position. So we're going to start the circuit now, and we're doing a minute on each exercise again this week. So we're going to start in on all fours and just bring the knees up off the ground, and we're just going to hold. So this is a really good core exercise. I'll just get my timer sorted. We're going to start now, so we lift the knees up off the floor, engaging the core, making sure the spine is neutral, so just looking down on the mat. Remembering to keep breathing in this position. So our knees are just a few centimetres off the ground. And continue to breathe. Holding it nice and strong. If you need to come down and rest a minute and then come back up, and do that. Think about pushing your fingers into the floor, into the mat. Keeping a nice steady breath. Got 15 seconds left, so we're nearly there. And 5 more left. Keep holding. And then lower down. Well done. So you might just want to bring your hips forwards and backwards a little bit. Just to get some blood flowing into that area again. Right, so we're going to stay on all fours and we're going to do fire hydrants, which is lifting the leg out to the side, so we're engaging your glutes there, working into the small muscles that we don't use very often. So we'll do 30 seconds one side and 30 the other. I'll tell you when to swap round. So we're bringing that knee out to the side, trying to keep the hips level as well. So if you find you're starting to move to one side, think about engaging your core and keeping a nice neutral spine in this position. So thinking about alignment. A few more and then we'll swap. So take the other leg out to the side, lifting up, out to the side. Keeping the hips level, keeping the core engaged and thinking about pressing those fingers down into the ground, into the mat. A few more seconds. Okay, and then the next exercise we're doing is mountain climber. So we're in a plank position. Time back. Plank position, and you can either bring your knees up in between your hands or out to the elbows. Or what we can do is move between the two. So if you're finding it hard, in fact, we're going to do that anyway. So what you're going to do is go in for 2 and then out to the elbows for 2. Just to give a bit of variety. So you're using slightly different muscles with each exercise. So going in between the hands and then out to the elbows. In between the hands and then out to the elbows. We're halfway through now. Keep that focus. Keep a nice straight line through the body. Out to the side. In between. 10 seconds left. So into the centre and then out to the side. And release, well done. And then you might want to just move forward and back a little bit again. And then we're coming back up to standing now, and we're going to do lateral lunge. So we're lunging out to the side. So remember, with the lateral lunge, we're stepping out to the side, keeping that leg straight and that leg bent, and trying to keep your torso upright so we're not leaning forward or back. And then we go to the other side, so steps from side to side. So we go to the side. Trying to keep that torso up straight, because what can happen is we start moving forwards and back. Getting a nice stretch as well on the inner thigh doing this exercise. I was going to say recipe, I don't know why. "15 seconds. Seconds, so we're going to go 1 to each side and then back to the centre. Then we're back down on the ground now for plank side dip. So we're going in a plank position again, but this time we're going to just dip the hips down to each side. So you can either do this in plank with straight arms, or you can do it with a plank with bent arms, or you can hold a plank. So we'll get started. So in the plank position, nice straight line through the body, and we're dipping down to the side. Keep your arms straight if you're in the arms straight position as you dip. And just look down to the floor, so you're not looking to the side or arching. A neutral spine and neck. Remember, you can always rest and come back to the exercise if you need to reset. And then release. And then the last exercise of this set is a glute bridge. So you come down onto your back and then feet flat on the floor. You should be about hands distant. You should be able to reach your heels with your hands, but they shouldn't be right up to your hands. So take them a little way away from where your hands are. And then you're going to lift your, put my watch on because I'm going to be able to see what I'm doing. Lift your hips up off the floor into a glute bridge, and then we're going to lift the leg up to the sky and then lower. So just lifting and lowering in this position, and we'll do 30 seconds on one side, 30 on the other. So we're going to make a start, so lifting your hips and lifting, lowering. So this exercise, you're engaging muscles in your hamstrings, glutes, also core. So it's a really good full body, apart from the upper body, but lower body and core. I'm going to be aware of a lot of muscles here. So we're going to swap over the other side, lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. Just as you're doing the exercise, go through your body and see where you are, which muscles you are using. Last one. And then we're back to the beginning again. So the first exercise was on all fours, lifting the knees up off the floor. So are you ready? Lifting the knees up off the floor, keeping that neutral spine, remembering to breathe, because as the tension builds up in your abdominals, what can happen is you start holding your breath. So remember to keep breathing, nice steady breathing. Keep breathing. Keep holding. We're over halfway through now, so only just. Think about pressing your fingers into the ground. Whenever you feel like you want to come down and you think you can hold it, just focus on something that's not your abdominals. 5 more seconds. And then lowering down. And then we're staying on all fours for the fire hydrant. So we're bringing the knee out to the side and then back in, keeping the hips level, looking down to the ground. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. 2 more seconds before we swap. Okay, and then swap legs, so we're going out to the other side. Feeling which muscles are engaging as you do this exercise, pressing down into the fingers and the hands, remembering to breathe as well. Last one, and release. And then we're staying on the ground for the mountain climber, so we're going to go in between the arms for 2 and then outside to the elbows for 2. So we're going to start now. In between and then out to the elbows. In between. Make sure that your hips are up, not too high up. You've got that straight line through your body, so you're able to engage your core. Into the centre, and then out to the elbows, bringing it high. So if you can bring it a bit higher, bring your knee a bit higher above your elbows. On the last few, just over halfway in, and see if you can go high. Ten more seconds. Keep it going. And release. Just move your hips back a little bit. Have a little bit of a release through that core. And then I'm going to come up to standing lateral lunges. So we make a start into the side, remembering to keep your torso upright. It's getting warm again. Stepping in and out to the side, just over halfway through. Keep it going. On these last few, just see how low you can go. So you might want to slow it down so you can get down a bit lower. And last one to each side. Okay, and then we're back down for plank side dips. So we're getting into plank position. Just getting my breath back a little bit. Into plank position, and we're dipping down to alternate sides with the hips. So either on your elbows or straight arms. Just bring those hips down to the ground, then back up to centre. Remembering you're looking down at the mat. Head, neck, spine all in neutral, so there's no arching going on. Halfway through. So working into the side abdominals a little bit here, bringing the hips back up to centre. 10 more seconds. And release. Okay, and then the last one, this set is the glute bridge, so we're going to lie down on back and then bring the hips up. Okay, we're going to do a different variation this time, so we're going to bring the knee in and then straighten. So bring the knee into the chest and then straighten the leg. Lower the hips slightly as you bring the knee in, so lowering down a little bit and then pressing the hips back up towards the sky. And then we're going to swap, so bringing the knee in, lowering the hips slightly, and as you straighten the leg, bring the hips back up towards the sky. Bring those hips down and then up. A few more. And then lower. Okay, so we're back to the beginning of the circuit again. So it's on all fours and engaging the core, lifting the knees up off the floor. So get on all fours and lift the knees up and just holding in this position. So remember to keep your spine in neutral, looking down towards the ground. Remembering to breathe, press your fingers into the mat. Really breathe fully in this position. Try not to let your breath start becoming shallow. Helps to get those deep breaths in. Got 20 seconds left. Remember, you can come down and come back into it if you want to. Full breaths, pressing into your fingers. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Okay, and then lower. So we're staying in this all fours position, and it's the glute bridge. So bringing our leg out to the side, keeping the spine in neutral, looking down at the floor, feeling the engagement in the glutes and also in the core. And just tune into your breathing again. Make sure you're still breathing. And then the other side, so we're bringing the leg out to the side. Got 15 seconds left. Five seconds left. And recover. So we're back into mountain climber now. So into the plank position. And we're bringing the knees in between and then out to the elbows. In between, out to the elbows. And slow it down if you want to. Keeping breathing. Might feel tough now on the last set. We're halfway through. "20 seconds left. And 10. Keep pushing through the hands. Last one. And then release. And then just bring your hips back and forwards a few times. Just to release the abdominals. And then we're going to come back up to standing, lateral lunge. So we're up, feet together, and then we're going to step to the side and lunge. Keeping your upper body nice and stable, strong. Just look ahead when you're doing these so that you're, again, we're thinking about keeping a nice alignment in the spine. Got 20 seconds left. These should feel like a bit of a break after all the core work. A few more left. And then we're going to go back into core. Okay, one more to each side. And then we're going to go into the side plank dip. So down on the floor for a plank position. And we're dipping down to each side. Keep breathing. Remember, you're keeping your head in a neutral position. Keep going on about it. Just check in, because you sometimes start forgetting, and now I just did. Hips down to the centre, using those lateral abdominal muscles. 10 seconds left. That's nice, it's a cool breeze. One more to each side, and then release. And then onto your back to the last exercise of the set, which is the glute bridge. So feet on the ground, and just wipe yourself for a little minute. Lift your hips up off the floor. Now bring the leg up and lowering down. So we go back to the original exercise this time. Lifting the hips up and then lowering. You should feel the bent leg. You're having to engage your muscles on that leg. And the glutes as well. Okay, we're going to swap to the side. Lifting and lowering. Trying to keep the upper body in contact with the floor and fairly relaxed. A few more left. Lifting and lowering. And then foot flat on the ground. Okay, and then just bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side in this position. And then bring your knees in, and then we're going to make circles with the knees in a clockwise direction. Just massaging out the lower back and the top of the glutes there. And I'll go in the other direction, so anti-clockwise now. I'm just going to rock up to sitting, and then take your feet, bring them together, and then we'll stretch the inner thigh. So we're just sitting up, stretching the inner thigh, and just look straight ahead. And then keep your right foot out in front and bring your left foot so that the knee is where the right sole of the foot is. And then we'll start to stretch over that leg. So just try and release in that position. So I'm stretching over the right leg. Seconds, and then just rolling back up, and then we'll swap. So the left foot comes across and the right foot, so that your knee is in line with your left sole of the foot, and then we're going to fold forward over the left leg. For a few more seconds in this position.